Hi, my name is Mary. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to your practice. As we go through life, we have different experiences, and these experiences can cloud our vision of what is really true about ourselves, about others, about circumstances. So, yoga is a way to move and breathe and flow and find calmness in your mind so that you can see more clearly what is the truth of a situation. So let's breathe and flow together. Come to your mat. We're going to start in all fours. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Your knees will be about hip width distance apart. And we're just going to do a little bit of a warm up to get our spine moving. So begin by taking a breath in, shine your heart forward, bring your tailbone up, and then as you breathe out, tuck in your chin, rainbow your spine, and then come back up again, breathing in, shining your heart, tailbone up, exhaling, chin to chest, tucking in your tailbone, and then flow with your own breath. Notice if you're locking your elbows and give a slight bend as you move through the flow. Just breathing and moving, getting into that rhythm, movement with breath. And you'll find as we go through practice that this moving with breath can help to quiet some of the chatter that goes on in our heads. Now come to all fours. We're going to first curl our toes and then bring your hips high and back to downward dog, but keep your knees very bent. So take a moment to see where you're at. Let your neck relax. You might give a little yes, no shake. Let those muscles relax. And then maybe it might feel good to pedal your feet. And as you're taking time to notice what's going on your body, notice if there are any spots that are creaky or sore, and just make an intention for your practice today to take care of yourself and be gentle with those areas. So now look to your hand, take little steps up to your hands. We're coming to something called halfway lift. So the crown of your head will be forward, hands could be on your shins or thighs. Really straight, flat back. Now bend your knees a lot and then forward fold. So your chest will rest on your thighs, neck relaxed. You could tense your fingers alongside your feet, or you could hold on to opposite elbows. Notice the length that you feel in your spine. And take one more breath here, and then we're just going to slowly rise up. Keep your chin to your chest, and then when you arrive, come into mountain pose or Tadasana. So your feet will be about hip width distance apart. Feel your feet grounding into the earth. Feel a nice solid base, slight bend to your knees. The muscles of your thighs will hug your leg bones. Tall spine. Draw your shoulders down and back. Take a moment just to notice what's going on in your body and your mind. Now take a full breath in, bring your arms out and up, and then hinge and fold, bringing your hands through heart center. Tense your fingers, step your right foot back into a low lunge. Take a breath in as you shine your heart forward. Plant your hands, step your left foot back into downward dog. Breathe in, come to all fours. Exhale, sink into child's pose, resting your forehead on the mat. Now bring your hands together in front of you, like in a prayer pose, and then bend your elbows and just settle in for 2 breaths. Release your hands, come back to all fours. Curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands to come to halfway lift, crown of your head forward, bend your knees forward, fold. Press your feet into the earth to rise up, arms out and up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Let's do the other side. Deep, full breath in, arms out and up. Hinge and fold hands through heart center. Tense your fingers, step your left foot back into a low lunge. Shine your heart forward. Now, plant your hands, step your right foot back into downward dog. Breathe in, come to all fours. Exhale, sink into child's pose. Bring your hands to a prayer, bend your elbows. Release your hands, come back to all fours. Curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Take a moment of reflection in downward dog. Let your hips rise up to the sky, and then at the same time, bring your heels towards the earth. Feel a length in the back of your legs. Let your neck relax. One more breath here. Then look to your hands. Walk your feet up to your hands to come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold with bent knees, and then press your feet into the earth to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. And take a moment here in mountain pose. I just noticed my knees were locked, so I'm going to give just a little bend. You could even close your eyes for a moment, just tuning in mind and body. Now, take another full deep breath in, arms out and up. Hinge and fold. Tense your fingers, step your right foot back into low lunge, but now bring your right knee to the ground and we're going to rise up. You could place your hands on your left knee first. Now we're going to take a breath in, bring your hands right on your heart and a slight back bend. And then place your hands to frame your foot, step your left foot back into plank. Or plank on knees. Bring your heels towards the back of the room. Now lower to your knees. Squeeze your sides with your arms as you lower all the way to your belly. Rest your forehead on the mat. Now we're going to just rise up a little bit, bringing your chest up. Shoulders and arms drawn back and down. Tops of your feet resting on the earth. We'll take a breath here. Lower down, resting forehead on the mat. Now press up first into all fours, then curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Now look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands to come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, and then press into the ground to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Another full deep breath in, hands through heart center as you fold. Tense your fingers, step your left foot back into low lunge, and then place your left knee on the ground to rise up, placing your hands on your right knee. Now place your hands on your heart, and as you take a breath in, open up your heart. Now frame your right foot, step your right foot back into plank. Lower all the way to your belly, squeezing your sides as you lower. Now press yourself up into baby cobra, lifting your chest up, shoulders down and back, or you could lift a little bit higher into cobra. Take a breath here, lower down. Now press first into all fours, then curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands to come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, and then press into the ground to rise up, arms out and up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Now take another full deep breath in, hinge and fold, hands through your heart, tense your fingers. This time step your left foot back, ground your left foot into the earth. Press into your right foot to rise up with your hands on your hips. Get a nice solid base. And then bring your chest and hips to the left. Bring your arms out to the side into Warrior Two, stretching each arm in opposite directions. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Press into the knife edge of your back foot to feel that strength in your back leg. Now we're going to flip our right palm and reverse, but place your left hand on your heart. And then we'll come back to Warrior Two. And then cartwheel your hands down. Step your left foot to meet your right to halfway lift. Hinge and fold. And then press into the ground to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Another full deep breath in. Hinge and fold, hands through heart center. Tense your fingers. Step your right foot back. Plant your right foot on the ground. Rise up, getting a nice solid base in your feet, adjusting as necessary. Now bring your hips and chest to the right. Bring your arms out to the sides in Warrior Two. Take a moment here, feeling your base, feeling your strength, feeling your power. And as you tip back, this time flip your left palm and place your right hand on your heart. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot, step left foot, step your right foot to meet your left into halfway lift. Hinge and forward fold. Press into the ground to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Another full deep breath in, arms out and up. Hinge and fold, tense your fingers, step your left foot back. Press into your right foot, hands on your hips. We're going into a Warrior One pose. So your hips and chest will stay forward. Still finding that nice solid base. Back foot at about a 45-degree angle, but at an angle that feels where you have a nice solid base. Now, bring your hands up. If that feels okay, you could have your hands at your heart or up. Make sure your shoulders stay down and back as you reach your arms up. If that's not good on your shoulders, bring your hands to your heart. So we'll hold this for a breath, whatever poses feels good. Now bring your hands behind your back. If it feels okay, clasp your hands and then bring your knuckles towards the earth. So shine your heart forward. And now we're going to bow down to Humble Warrior, bringing right shoulder towards right knee. Let your neck relax. Now place your hands on the ground to frame your right foot. Step your left foot up first so that it's parallel. So your left leg is parallel to the ground. So you could stay here, or you could bring your left leg up a little higher into standing splits. So just find a leg placement that feels good for you. So you'll be looking at your right knee. You could place your hands alongside your right ankle if you want a little bit more of a balance challenge. We'll take one more breath here and then step your left foot down right next to your right and slowly rise up. Bring your arms out and up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Let's do the other side. Take a breath in, arms out and up. Hinge and fold. Tense your fingers. Step your right foot back. Rise up into Warrior One feet, so your chest and hips forward. Find your base and then bring your hands either to your heart or up. So feeling the strength in both of your legs as your feet root into the earth to give you stability and support. Notice where your breath is. Now clasp your hands behind your back, draw your knuckles towards the earth. Slight back bend to open up your heart. And then lower down to Humble Warrior, right shoulder left shoulder to left knee. Let your neck relax. Now, frame your foot, your left foot, and then we're going to step our right foot up so the right leg is parallel to the earth, tenting your fingers alongside your left foot, and then you could either stay here or lift your right leg a little bit higher into standing splits, this time looking down at your left knee. We'll take one more breath here, letting your neck relax. And then step your right foot to meet your left. Come into halfway lift. And then we're going to place our hands on the mat, step into all fours, and sink into child's pose. Bring your hands to prayer pose. And then up. Bend your elbows. Now come back to all fours, and then we're going to stand on our knees. So if your knees need a little bit more support, you could fold up your mat a little bit. Place your knees on that fold. So now come to standing on knees. Place your hands on your hips, and we're just going to rock back and forth a little bit. So just bending back and forth. And we'll do that one more time. You could stay with your hands on your hip or place one hand on your heart, and then just slowly do a back stroke with your right hand. And we'll do 3 circles. And then place both hands on your hip, then place your right hand on your heart, and circle with your left hand. Just 3 times, bending back, using the strength of the front of your legs to support you as you bend back. And one more circle. And then we're going to come to a seated position first. And we're just going to do one little forward fold here. So bring your arms up and we'll fold. If it feels better to bend your knees, you can do that. But just feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Let your neck relax. And then you can come up to seated, and we're going on our backs. And we're going into a pose called Supta Baddha Konasana. Love to say that. So you'll bring the soles of your feet together. If this doesn't feel good on your back, you can have your legs straight. So now you can rest here, bring one hand to your heart, and then place your other hand on top of that hand. So you might have to adjust so that you can feel your heart beating. So however you land, you can stay here, or you could come into more of a Shavasana-like position with your hand on your heart. If it doesn't feel good to have your hand on your heart, you can bring your hands to your side. So just come to a position where you can find stillness for our last bit of class. So as you're resting with your hands on your heart, begin to breathe in and out through your nose. And as you're breathing, follow the path that the air takes as it moves in and out. Notice how the air moves in and out, almost like a wave. Very steady and calm, in and out. Notice the sensation of the outside air as it moves inside. Feel how the outside becomes inside. becoming part of you. Feel the energy that the air provides, sustaining you. Breath is life. With your hand on your heart, feel your chest as the breath moves through you. Feel how your chest rises and falls with each breath. Bring awareness to your heart center as it fills with energy and oxygen. Take a moment to listen to your heart. What is your heart telling you? Take a moment in gratitude and appreciate your heart and lungs giving you breath and life. Feel free to release your hands. Just take a moment and rest in your awareness of your true being aware of your heart. Now begin once again to notice the sensation of the air as it moves in and out of your body. Feeling the energy that comes in, reviving you. You might feel some movement in your fingers and toes. And as you continue to breathe more deeply, feel the energy in your arms and your legs, feeling some movement, coming awake, coming alive. And when you're ready, you can roll yourself over to your side. You can use your arm as a support to rest your head. Draw your knees to your chest. Just take a moment in gratitude and thank yourself for coming to practice today, taking time for self-care, and taking just a few minutes to become aware of your true inner self. When you're ready, press yourself up to a seated position. Draw your hands to your heart and take a moment here, just once again, feeling your heart beating. Thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste.